Peace, peace, family, and we are finally live. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Turn this headphones up a little more. Peace to everybody in the chat. Oh, this is gonna be a good show, and I do say that every show, but I mean that every show. So that's what that's what matters. We got a special guest in the building today. Y'all seen this brother plenty of times before. I'm gonna get to a quick commercial. Then we're gonna get things started.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Without further ado, the one, the only, Black Dots.
Peace, family. It's always a pleasure to sit here with my brother, my fellow Virgo brother, Rich. It's been a minute.
Indeed.
Every time I look up, you grinding. You look up, I'm grinding.
Yeah, facts.
But I did.
Virgos, we grind, Dot.
We grind hard. I did get to share some moments with you during the album release party on December 11th, which was memorable. And I want to talk about that as we, open up and things of that nature. So it's always a pleasure.
Indeed, as everybody filling the room, we got almost about 700 people already.
The Urban Nation will be here in a minute. Trust me.
Shout out to the Urban Nation. They're gonna be in the building tonight. Listen, we starting this show off right. Good vibes, y'all. We in a certain era, we in a certain age, whatever you want to call it, where we doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? Dot said earlier, he just told me everything's beautiful, his life is beautiful. So we're gonna start off on a high frequency. I'm gonna play this track by Cambada, me and Cambada's album. This was actually the last track on the album, and it's called Celebrate. And it's a song. The album was like a roller coaster ride, and this song was just to let the people know, regardless of where you at on a roller coaster ride, whether you way up top or at the bottom, or you climbing back up to the top. At the end of the day, we got to celebrate every aspect of this life, and I want y'all to listen to these lyrics and what Cam is saying in terms of celebration. Some people say we in the golden age. Some people say this is a paradigm shift. Some people say we in the age of Aquarius. There's many names for it, but I know deep down in your core, y'all can feel the change going on. So yes. I don't know the technical name to get us, Dot, but there's a feeling inside my being, and I love it. So on that note, this brother is one of the pioneers of hip hop. This brother has been holding down and representing hip-hop to the fullest, so it's only right we start out with this track. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes, family. We're going to get this thing going. We already got 1,000 people in here. We're going to get this thing going. Shout out to the Urban X community. Oh, and before I go into the video, right here, Black Dot, the website is in the description. This brother has one of the best clothing line out there in terms of all the brothers on the internet with the merch. I mean, high quality. I gotta give Dot his props. I mean, top-notch quality. This right here is absolutely amazing. He sent me some other stuff. Yo, amazing. So we'll talk about that also. But the website is in the description. But let's get to this video real quick. Family, celebrate your life. We're in a new era, new age. We'll be right back in 1 minute, a couple of minutes.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling stressed. Sometimes I wake up feeling like I never slept. Sometimes I don't want to wake up cause I'm depressed. But today when I woke up I felt blessed. Yes, I'm thankful I could breathe. Thankful for the breath, thankful for the heart beating in my chest. Superman-esque, I fell in love with life, not afraid of death. Fell in love with life, fell in love with sex. I'm a sinner, I confess. I love my cold, melanated flesh. It absorbs, it protects like a bulletproof vest. I kill all my demons and then I ask who's next. I'm the son of Osiris, I'm coming for the suit tax. Suplex, God is blood, God is great. I'm thankful for the food on my plate. I just ate mashed potatoes and steak. Victory is sweet, come get a taste. The flavor in your air is Big Mac with the bass. Been broke, can't break, got money in the bank. Every day someone dies, someone's born. Get a cake, set a date, get a suit, get a tie, get a date. God is always on time, never late. Celebrate, get in shape, meditate, levitate, elevate. Men destroy, men create, real women menstruate. And the sound I make emanates my light. And the song I sing celebrates my life. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Everything was dark, God invented light. Everybody celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Accepted all my wrongs, celebrate the right. When I die, celebrate my death, see what heaven's got. I feel glorious, victorious. The medal dangle on my neck, Christmas ornament. I lead a group of fit warriors, we win tournaments. Some same ladies ignoring us to get more of us. The whole world is recording us. They trying to capture God on video, but when you click a pic for your Insta, he go invisible. My ancestors watching me living like television show. They visit, but I'm so busy in my phone that I didn't know. Pitiful, everything going digital. They stimulate my mind, but my physical is in prison. They killing souls, trying to take your spirit like criminals. Wicked system manipulate niggas. Nintendo 64, they in control. Trying to live simple is getting difficult. I'm willing though. Now I'm a father, my inner kid can grow. Switch the flow. Now that rapping dude is a daddy too. Used to do what the rappers do. Now I do what I have to do. Attitude went from so sad and blue to a happy mood. Gratitude. I still remember when I ain't have no food. That's why I celebrate each meal. I celebrate my pain, cause when you dead you can't feel. I celebrate the fact that I get hurt and I can heal. When I struggle I celebrate cause it sharpens up my skill. In the morning time I celebrate. When I wake up I'm born again, I should get a cake. I got some loved ones that went to bed and ain't get away. I celebrate while I'm living cause when I'm dead it's late. Never wait. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Everything was dark, God invented light. Everybody celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Accepted all my wrongs, celebrate the right. When I die, celebrate my death, see what heaven's like. Woke up in the morning feeling joy, pure joy, God's great joy. I used to be so easily annoyed, unemployed, stuck inside a void. And God blessed me with a girl and a boy, and now I feel joy like a child with his toy.
Yo, Dot, I swear you could do every old school dance to that song. You could do the Running Man.
Oh man, just
wow,
like
you could do any old school songs, dance to that song, Dot.
it is. And it's a powerful song for so many reasons. First of all, one of my favorite lines in there is when he said, I used to do what the rappers do. Now I got kids, so I do what I have to do. And that's a profound statement. Celebrate is what we've always done. The slave masters used to be baffled because we were here under these so-called conditions celebrating. It's because we knew that this wasn't it for us. You can't break our spirit. You can't break our soul. And so we constantly celebrate. There is so much to celebrate about. Don't let these devils tell you that the world is ending, because even in the thumbnail, it says the New World Order, but it should have been a KNEW because we knew our world was going to be in order. You know what I mean? So as the elders prepared us for what's coming, it ain't nothing new for us. We knew. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate everything about what you and Cambada have contributed to this time-space continuum, because it was much needed. And we're going to speak about that, man. We're going to speak about it.
Indeed. Somebody said that I produced that. Yes, that's on the Holy Ghost 3 album. Yes, I produced that. And that's Cambada on that track right there. Dot, man, good to have you on here. The last joint we did, when I talk to you, Dot, the people, they get ready for that real talk. They get ready for no holds bars. You being transparent. You're not trying to sound too fancy, but at the same time, you hitting us with gems on top of gems. So it's always dope kicking and vibing with you, Dot. Always, man. Listen, I want to start out like this, Dot. Let me show this on. I got this new mouse pad, y'all. Bear with me, because I'm doing some rearranging here. Bear with me. All right, let me do it like this. Hold up. Could barely see up here. Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to share this. I want to start it like this, because they say we're in a new paradigm, Dot. I'm embracing that. I'm vibing with that. Being a creator, we are creators, right, Dot?
Yes.
I'm vibing with that, and I really like what I seen right here, and I'm gonna tell you why, Dot, and I want to get your opinion on it. The Cat Williams Effect, full episode views, 50 million. This is the brother's YouTube channel, Shannon Sharp. His program is known as Club Shay Shay. So this is a quote from Cat Williams while he was on the broadcast. Before it hit millions upon millions of views. And during the broadcast, Cat Williams said Club Shay Shay is going to be in a dimension it's never been. The greatest thing floating in 2024. Mark the words, in a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth, oh yeah, watch. God's people ain't that few. I mean, you can look at the impressions it got. I mean, absolutely groundbreaking, Dot. So what I want to start out with talking to you about this and why I like it and why people like, why Brother Rich showing that? That's pop culture shit. This is a brother. These are two brothers. And this is something we all can learn, Dot. And I want you to expound on this because you and your family's doing this now, who betted on themselves.
Yes.
After Shannon Sharp was on Undisputed, the people, he was getting pulled from every direction. He's on First Take, but he decided to do his own thing on YouTube, invest in his company in camera. He got Ocho on there. He got his podcast. He's doing different things independently. So this represents a brother who's doing it on his own. He's just using YouTube as distribution. But I love it. I love it, Dot. I mean, I love it when I see brothers and sisters bet on themselves and win, because that's the realm, that's the vibration I'm in. So I want you to talk to us about that, because being bold is something that is scary for a lot of us, Dot. It's scary for a lot of us to invest in clothing lines and so on and so forth. For those who may not be as bold as you or Cat Williams as myself, talk about the importance of being bold moving into this next paradigm.
All right, very great question. And I want to preface it by saying the timing of what Cat Williams did was superb. All right. This moment of truth as we enter into this new paradigm, the new shift or whatever, was very important. Now, what people have to understand is these things don't happen overnight. And so there is a process in which you're going to have to go through, but you have to stand on your square of what you think it has to be, because there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. As you mentioned, this celebration, this ride, this infinity loop, which goes around like this, which was spoken about by Rod Hayes. It's an up and down ride. He betted on himself. He took losses that people have no idea that he took, that you make on your own, Brother Rich, sacrifices that people behind the scenes know, but in front of the camera don't see. They think everything is glory. There have been moments when you got to buckle down and you truly have to believe in what it is that you're fighting for. And then that opening takes place when you match the vibration of the destination you're trying to reach. So when we say we speak things into existence, we do. But there comes a time when we have to match the vibration of the destination. And when we do that through hard work, through sacrifice, through mistakes, or what appears to be mistakes being made. This Cat Williams thing was bigger than pop culture and a comedian on talking jokes. He was speaking his truth as he saw it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he refused, what he was telling you is he refused to sell his soul, any portion of his soul, to make other people rich, to make other people happy, and to compromise what he believes is his truth. I stand on that 110%. And so the 50 million, he spoke that into existence. Before you know it, 8 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. And he's at 50 million and counting. And it's a moment that happened when it was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? And so I am thankful to have witnessed it, experienced it, enjoyed it, laughed, got the gems, because he also dropped gems. He wasn't just telling jokes. He was dropping gems. And so that whole process is important. I don't want young people to give up. Our people have this thing where they think this is what they think is going to happen. And all of a sudden they got this download and everything is beautiful. We have to, linear minds think in straight lines. It is a process. You're going to burn some bridges. You are going to have to refine yourself. The Dark Alchemist, which is the subtitle of this, is about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about coming into the golden age. You know what I'm saying? From lead to gold, And when I spoke about it, even in terms of hip hop, I said when the pen hit the pad, it led in the pencil to gold. It led to gold chains, gold teeth, gold plaques. And now we are coming into the golden age of such. And as an alchemist, you understand that it has to be worth your weight in gold. The WAIT, the weight, because the weight is what gets it to refine itself so that it can be all that it can be. So kudos to Cat Williams, you know what I'm saying? And kudos to everyone else who has endured and is ready for what's coming. Now it's our time.
Oh yeah. I love how Doc came out swinging, huh, y'all? Y'all see how Doc came out? Doc came out like, Rich, man, I ain't been on here in a while. It's my time to shine.
Let's do what we do, man. Let's do what we do.
Doc, let me ask you this. Now, I've been wondering about this, Doc. So one thing I noticed with Cat Williams in this interview is a strong conviction in a higher power in God. One thing I also noticed is that a lot of people in the spiritual community, they don't have a strong conviction when it comes to calling themselves God. Like Christians pray to a God, we say we are God, but our belief, our knowingness in that isn't as strong sometimes as the Christians' belief in their God. So do you think since some people don't have a strong conviction in saying they're God, they should go back to praying to a God so they could at least have some type of conviction in a higher power?
Wow, that is so profound because I've been amongst some elders and some now ancestors who were able to instill in me and not just make it fluffy words, but instill in me the importance of knowing that everything is everything. And so I must be God. I must be an expression of that. And so when we even get Christians to understand, okay, based on where you are right now, you're praying for something outside of yourself. But if you're trying to bring it to self, there still must be some form of connection. And so being fortunate enough to understand that even growing up in the nation of gods and earths, when the brothers on the corner said, yo, black man, you God, right, it didn't resonate as much as it did when I got the formula for being God. You see what I'm saying? So it was just cool to say I'm God. And they did give you the lessons. Don't get me twisted, the knowledge. I knowledge 120 and went through that. But it was the sit down process of the elders who gave me the formula to show and prove that I was God, that it made more sense. And see, sometimes you get information when you're not ready for it. And so I do feel in this day and time, more and more people are open and susceptible to the fact that what we thought was God, what we're chasing is in us the whole time. So we use this saying, Brother Rich, I am a spiritual being having a humble human experience. Right. And, you know, it means right now, me and you are spiritual beings and we're having a human experience via Black Magic 363. We're not even in the same place, but you sent me the coordinates of where we could digitally meet so that we can have this meeting amongst the family and friends. We agreed upon that. And so when we start saying we are spiritual, but we want to have an above human experience, all right, let's say this. Follow me. This is going to sound crazy. The eighth dimension of me and you decide, we already know we are spiritual beings. Let's have an above human experience. Rich, what you doing next Friday? Boom. Let's meet at the mall in Miami. And let's come in at a coordinates above third dimension so we don't interfere with nothing going on earth. And me and you are chilling just like we chilling now. Just like you gave me the coordinates to meet you here, I give you the coordinates. We in a mall in Miami and we're chilling and we going, oh, okay, this is what it is. This is what's happening on earth. And then all of a sudden people start screaming. And we go, what the fuck's going on and shit? I look around and I go, yo, Rich, chill. You know, earth is ratchet, probably some shootout. And then we realize that they're looking at us, right? Either CERN or something, an ELF broke something in the time-space continuum, and now they can actually see us. You know what I mean? So our cloak has been removed, and all of a sudden the people are running from us, right? So I'm only saying that to say, when people said what they saw in Miami, they said it was sort of glitchy, like it was in and out and they couldn't. But that's what us being God is. We have the ability to exist everywhere and anywhere at all times. But if something happens and there's a glitch or a something that tears in the space-time continuum and we are seen and we didn't want to be seen, that's where we are now. And so the very idea that we can contemplate that means that I have to be God. And it means that if I can explain that to young people, that what you think is, and you are at all times, and you know all things, then it becomes easier for them to synthesize this. Because remember, you're talking, that's old paradigm. You know what I'm saying? We've been through that. We've been through that paradigm of the God outside of us. And this war is continuing. That's why AI, it really should be AI versus AI. You know what I mean? Because we are the only true I. But the devil has a way to continue to keep these things outside of ourselves. And that's the war that we're fighting. But now that this shift is here, it's easier to sit a child down and explain to them that you are all that you ever was and ever will be.
Awesome explanation, my brother. Since you brought it up, that was definitely one of the questions I want to ask. I mean, it seems like sightings are at an all-time high. Since I've been in this realm, Dot, I ain't hear about this many sightings ever. The biggest one was in Miami. They had something floating in the air in China a couple of days. Sightings everywhere, Dot. What's your thoughts about all these sightings, Don? What the hell is going on, my brother?
I think some of them are being fabricated so that you won't know that you're coming online. All right, because I've always been a seer of things. I could see things through my peripheral since I was a kid, but now they're becoming more and more defined that something else is going on. And it may be happening to a lot of you as well, but that's going to be clouded and flooded with the confusion of illusion. And so this is why Congress just had a full disclosure where their top astrophysicists and science said we are not alone in the universe. And that should have made people go, whoa, where we at? Let's contemplate what we thought was real and what is reality. And people just went on about their lives. And so they do these things to really test the knuckle draggers' ability to comprehend where they're going, because we're going there whether you want to go there or not. Whether you accept it or aware is going to determine how much of the energy you're able to receive, but we're going there, right? And so all of the fake UFO sightings mixed in with the real has put us in a confused state. But it's only going to be confusing for so long before the truth is truly revealed. We've never been alone. We are more than, just this flesh and this avatar that we choose to use to participate here in this third dimensional paradigm realm, whatever you want to call it. And so the truth, this is what I'm saying, what Cat Williams represented. Somebody in the chat said, well, he didn't say nothing that wasn't said before. Correct. However, the timing, how many times have your aunt or uncle told you something and you blew it off, but then somebody else came later in life and said it and it made all the sense in the world? You know how many times I've sat and told Malcolm something and he blow me off because I'm his dad and whatever. And then one of his uncles say the exact same shit I said. And then, let me tell you, because the timing of it was correct. We were just coming into what is the so-called new year, and he dropped that bomb and synthesized everything that we had been hearing about Diddy, about Dwight Howard, about Will Smith, about Jamie Foxx, about the whole music industry, and it put a capstone on the illusion of idol worship and all the stuff that's been plaguing us for the last 50 years. It's been 50 years we've been plagued by celebrity gossip, celebrity worship, athletes. They found ways to use, a higher expression of ourselves through the people we admire and love to control us. You know what I'm saying? It was a time when we felt Jackie Robinson and them had a mission, and that was to help uplift us. And then once them corporations kicked in and found a way to put a capstone on it by defining what success is through money, or what, fiat money and a gated community and all of those things. And those things became the prize. It became if I can control the end of what you think success is, the roadmap in between all of that makes no difference, because you're still going to end up where I want you to end up. And so our celebrities, our rappers had a mission at one point, and then they didn't. Our athletes, they played ball, and we live vicariously through, their sports, and then they didn't. And the movie stars, the same thing. And so all of this came to a head as Bobby Hemmett and so many of our elders told us it would. And it came to a head. Most of us who have been studying was ready for it. Those of us who weren't, it became a shock, because you got to make adjustments now, and you realize that these people sold you out a long time ago.
Definitely, my brother. Definitely. But let me ask you this. Since we're talking about this new era that we're in, a new time that we're in, we're using the word time a lot during this conversation. One thing we have noticed, Dot, is that time is speeding up.
Yes.
We didn't need books. We didn't need the news. We didn't need the scientists to tell us that. We could feel it. And we could feel that time is speeding. So time is speeding up, Dot. The days are going by faster. Things are changing. But one thing I noticed, Dot, is that even though time is speeding up, it's not speeding up the aging process. It seems as though we're looking younger and younger. I remember when I was young, somebody who was 40 years old is the equivalent to somebody who's like 65 in this day and age.
Yes.
So why do you think, Dot, as a metaphysician that you are, how is time speeding up, but age going backwards, slowing down, Dot?
I'm going to say because the past, present, and future exist simultaneously, but also, what's that movie, Tenet, where the thing was moving forward and backward at the same time? Denzel Washington's son. I think we have sort of grabbed a hold of what we thought time was. See, okay, let me say it like this.
Explain that. What you mean, Dot?
So the linear aspect of time is our perception of time, meaning the way we measure time in a linear sense was this event happened, and then that event happened, and then that event happened, and I experienced that. And then once we came into the awareness that I can slow it down or speed it up based on my awareness of it, like if you ever play ball, bro, sometimes the game, you ever heard them say the game slows down? Yeah. It's because they're in control. To be able for Barry Bonds to hit a white speck. Now, this is what a baseball looks like when it's coming at 100 miles an hour. Trust me, I've been in the batting cage. I talk shit to my son. I used to play baseball as a kid, and we went into the professional batting cage, and Malcolm said, Dad, do me a favor, just put it on like slow, and you can warm up. I said, slow? Come on, Virgo, I'm slow. I put it on, the professional. The bat never left my shoulder, Rich. Wow. And a light comes on, and it tells you, bing, a red light, the ball is getting ready to come. And so I dug in, and when the ball came, it looked like a goddamn speck. So here it is, Barry, and I couldn't even hit it. As a matter of fact, I cracked my wrist trying, and I had to leave, and it was embarrassing and shit. But what happened was, for Barry Bonds to be able to slow that thing down, he's going to get one pitch a game, because they're going to pitch around on the rest and hit it in the upper deck, meaning that he's able to slow time down. I've been on the ball court when I can just see it as it's happening, as a quarterback being able to look over the defense and see these things. So we have moments when we can slow things down. And by slowing things down and controlling the time, we not aging as much as people who came on before us or after us, should I say. Some of these young people look old. They look stressed and they look old. And so I think it has something to do with when we came on the timeline, as well. And a lot of these young people, they're in a quickening in terms of a literal quickening. They're in the microwave era, so they want everything fast. They want their money fast. They want to get here fast. They don't want to work a job. They don't want to learn nothing. And so by them getting on their own treadmill, what they don't realize is that they're speeding up their process of death without them enjoying and slowing down the goddamn moments of life. Take it easy. Relax. You know what I mean? Everything is not supposed to come right away. There is supposed to be a process in which this happened, and that's the alchemical process we speak about when you have matured or you have reached the vibration in which you can receive that which you want. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's spitting, y'all. Oh yeah, it's official. He's spitting. Dot, let me ask you this, Dot. You come from that era in the consciousness. Brother Panic and y'all was around the same time. I remember coming up seeing y'all. What did Brother Panic's death, did it make you think about death any differently? Did it make you think about death more and hey, maybe my time is coming? What did his death affect you anyway in terms of your thought process spiritually or anything of that nature? And shout out to Brother Panic.
Shout out to Brother Panic. No, because Panic spoke so freely of death like it wasn't what you think it's going to be. And so he prepared himself for the next paradigm that he was going into. Right. And he spoke of it openly and transparent enough that he understood this was inevitable. I am in an avatar that I borrowed for a while, and I'm going to experience all there is to experience, but I know that this is not the end. And so when he transitioned, I said, okay, I wasn't surprised. It wasn't like a shock that came to me. And he never, to me, in my humble opinion, he never fought to be here like this was the end all and be all. He kept listening. Panic would get on and eat a slice of pizza and be like, look, man, this is all some bullshit. Yeah. Right? And so he knew innately that this is going to happen. So I'm of the mindset when it's my time, it is my time. But I know it's not my time because I feel amazing. I think I look amazing. And I still got work to do here. You know what I mean? And so when your work here is done, and it has nothing to do with the green juice you drink in, I mean, in the literal sense, it does, because even the health gurus made a transition. When it's their time, it's their time. You are here to do your work. I'm here. I got work to do. And so as long as I have my work to do and my ancestors are going to protect me, nothing can stop me from doing the things that I need to get done. And when you fear something, what you're doing is you're bringing it to you. You know what I'm saying? In the law of attraction, it's not just the things you want, it's also the things you fear, right? So I've often spoke of, I've had a fear and a hatred for needles because my mother was an intravenous drug user, right? My fear at 5 years old, I'm holding a string around her arm so she can find a vein, so she can get off. You know, it's in my personal, story. A lot of people know it. But my fear of needles became so much that I drew needles to me, and I need them now for my physical survival here. All right. So I need you to understand the things, and I'm talking subconscious fear. You know what I mean? The one thing I feared the most, because my mother was a genius. You know, she had the highest IQ in my family. Her books, the stuff she read and how worldly she was, but I saw her destroying herself with needles. So even when I had to get a damn vaccination as a kid, I lost it because the needles meant something else for me. And then in the subconscious mind, that's what drew. And that's the predicament I've been in for the last 19 years. Now, I could have tucked it in, Rich. I'm from a personal experience. Some people would rather tuck it in. I didn't. You know what I mean? I didn't see it as a death sentence. I saw it as an opportunity for me to slow things down and appreciate every single moment. And I started getting younger and I started getting stronger, and everything I ever wanted started coming into my mix. And so fear is a weird thing, and you got to be careful with it, right? And so never fear what you can't control. Control what you can control, but live every moment in its fullest. I didn't start living until I didn't start living until I thought I was dying. That's the subtitle of my new book, right? I didn't start living until I actually thought I was dying. And so this thing is crazy.
Deep. Wow. The subtitle, you mentioned the subtitle to your book. The subtitle to this show is The Dark Alchemist. You call yourself the Black Dot. Dr. Phil Valentine created something in the golden era of consciousness called the Dark Matter Think Tank, both dealing with the darkness that we are afraid of so much in the Black community and just in the world in general. And I'm going to make it my point to continue the legacy of talking about darkness in a positive light, like yourself and Dr. Valentine, especially this year. That's one of the assignments my spirit was told me to move on. There was a time, Doc, and there's a lot of times in my life where, you know, as Virgos, we're to ourselves a lot. We work, we grind, and we doing what we doing. Most of what I'm doing now, and a lot of things in my life, there was times when the only person that believed me was the darkness. Nobody else believed that I would be where I'm at now or do what I do now. You could tell. I remember I told my lady when probably the first day I met her, I was telling about a lot of things that I was going to do that she sees me doing now. I know she's like, damn, he told me that. And the reason why I knew certain things in my life was because the darkness told me so. Just like me and you are having this conversation, I'm in the dark and I don't hear it with my ears. I hear it like inside, you know, that's just a feeling. So talk to us about this dark alchemy, this aspect of maybe not having nobody to believe you or talk to you or green light an idea you have, but the only thing you can turn to is that darkness, and it's giving you the thumbs up. But for whatever reason, you need external validation. So talk to me about having internal validation versus external validation.
Yeah, that's another great question. As Virgos in particular, we're hermits by nature. As a matter of fact, I think our tarot card is the hermit. You know, with the light. And when we have something to share, we come out of the darkness and we share and we shine. We Virgos, we gonna shine. And so I spend a lot of time in darkness, contemplating life as a philosopher. That's how I work out all of my problems in the quiet space. But it can also be in the shadow work that needs to be done, you know, as a dark alchemist. You know what I'm saying? And not in the a base metal to gold aspect, but the man to God aspect, which is the refining of self. And in order to do that, there has to be an accumulation of experiences that we each go through on our journey here. If I am an extension of God, then if God is the all-knowing, then why would God need to do anything? He knows everything. God wants to experience things. And so the God in us wants to come out and experience life. And, you know, we're set with so many challenges, but we have to sit with self. And we have to, I'm always telling people on my podcast, look in the mirror. Stop looking outside of, look in the mirror so that the work will always start and end with you, your shadow work, and then the darkness is where, or when the lights are not on, so to speak, is the true essence of who you are. And the only people around you are the ones closest to you that know who you are and what you're going through. When the lights come on, we all want to be made up. We all want to, you know what I'm saying, look a certain way. But when in the darkness, it's only you. It's only the darkness here. You know what I mean? And so that's the critical time. And most people are running away from that darkness of self because they don't want to deal with it. That's what Instagram has afforded and social media has afforded these young people opportunity to shed light on things that don't need light shed on them because they aren't refined yet. They aren't, our generation don't need social media. We don't need Instagram and all of that to create these false narratives of who we are. We've worked on ourselves. And so Kobe worked in the darkness on 800 jumpers a night. You know what I'm saying? So that when the lights came on, you know what I'm saying, his validation came from like you said, the internal darkness brought the external light and validation that he well deserved. So when you've earned something through the darkness, it belongs to you. Now, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of darkness, there are those who are looking to cast a dark shadow over you to prevent you from reaching your full potential. Even hip hop, 50 years of a dark shadow. I'm not going to say all 50, but once these, the cabal or whoever you want to call them, realized that these dark urban alchemists were working something out of nothing in the most desolate places using brick and mortar and lead from a pencil to make this gold and sound and vibration and sex, drugs, and all of the and repetitious chants through these words of an English language. They noticed that we were performing magic. And so they got out ahead of it and said, we'll create the vehicles by which the magic has to express itself. And that's where you got the magazines, the radio shows, the record companies, and they put a capstone to direct the energy into dark places. And now it's important for us after 50 years to realize it's time to remove that dark cast over us and get back to the purest essence, of what it is. And so I appreciate artists now who are making music because they love to. It's not about money. You know what I'm saying? Money ain't what you think it is, and now it's being proven. It's not about that fancy home, and it's not about none of that stuff no more, because none of that stuff, as we moved into this new paradigm shift, as you see, don't matter. Ass and tits don't matter no more for the sisters who think that that's what it's about. Because when I'm looking at ass and tits all day, it's like I'm looking at no ass and tits, right? The young people can manifest money so quickly that it doesn't have the value that they thought it was going to have anymore. And so now they're after something else. They're after a unique, authentic experience with something that they love and that no money can buy or take away from you. And that's what Cat Williams was talking about.
Whew. Jeez. Names are important. Why did you choose the name Black Dot? They represent a frequency. Why did you choose that name?
Yes, as I was coming, and this is, I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm going to take responsibility for something. What happened was, as I was coming into consciousness in 96, thanks to Bobby Hemmett with the Egyptian mystery systems, right? Now, I was always in consciousness. I wore the medallions and red, black, and green, and, fight the power. I did all of that. But in this awareness, I bring hip hop with me because that was the vibration I was about. And in hip hop, Rich, you have an alter ego. It's the one thing that gave you an ability to be Clark Kent and Superman. And so when I came into consciousness, I looked around and everybody called themselves, I'm Bobby Hemmett, I'm Phil Valentine. And I understood that because they wasn't of the hip hop vibration. I was coming in on hip hop. And so I wanted to make this mine and give myself or put my signature stamp on it. So when I heard Dr. Richard King speak of the Black Dot and what it meant in its doorway and connection to all that was, I said, that's who I am. I'm the Black Dot. Now, when I did that, I think I may have been the first one in the so-called conscious community to show up as somebody other than themselves. And what it did was it put a signature out for young people to now, who's this Black Dot dude, this, that, and that. And then that's when all of the other names, the red pills, blue pills, this, that, and we made it our own. We made the metaphysical community our own by taking on these different names and monikers. Panic, that ain't his name. You know what I mean? And so we took on these names, and so that became why I became the Black Dot. And then recently, if you watch the Urban X podcast, Malcolm will begin the show by saying, I'm Malcolm, and this is the artist formerly known as, because for about 47 years of my life, or 40 years, I've been anybody other than Dwayne. I ain't been Dwayne or identified as Dwayne since I was 9 years old. My mama named me Dwayne for a reason. Even that name has a frequency to it that is supposed to represent who I was. But in hip hop, I was Chiba La Rock, Cool D, KD the Captain, all of these weird names, because that's just what we did. And then I became the crown of it. I had about 6 hip hop names. The 7th name I chose was the Black Dot. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Which is the pineal gland. And so I wanted to return back to who I was and re-identify with self. And so that's why there's an ongoing joke on the show. People don't know if to call me Black Dot or to call me Dwayne. I'm cool with whatever. This was my own journey to reconnect with calling myself Dwayne, which is what my mother named me.
That's dope, Dad. I'm glad I asked that question. Wow.
Yeah, great question.
You returning to the whole Dwayne, and that's the name given to you by your moms. That's wonderful. And the story you told earlier about your moms and what you went through as a young brother, I think there's a divine purpose behind that. There's no accident or no coincidence that you're doing that. So your mama called you Dwayne, named you Dwayne. I'm gonna call you Dwayne for the rest of the show.
Absolutely.
My brother Dwayne. So my brother Dwayne, let me ask you this. So moving into this new paradigm, this new age that we are entering, people always talk about their purpose. And one of the first things people usually say, Dot, is, well, I want to help people. I want to help people. If you ask somebody, what do you want to do in life? What do you want to do? A lot of people who are conscious will automatically say, I want to help somebody. One thing I found out, and I heard Brother Panic say this before, is that if you go into this thing looking to help somebody, you might get let down. You might get disappointed. And I see that people who go into this with trying to help people, they end up getting mad at the people they're trying to help because they didn't get the response from the people who they claimed they was trying to help. So what Panic said he did was he went into this thing because he had a genuine love for it, because he wanted to know what this information was about, and he wanted to raise it. It was a selfish, shall you say, intention behind it. He wanted to be the best self he can be. And through doing that, he wound up helping everybody. So talk to me about the idea of being spiritually selfish, helping people instead of what we are taught, helping people and not helping people, trying to help people and not help people.
Another great question, because there are basically 2 people in the world, those who have service to self and service to others. And sometimes we confuse it by thinking, my mission here is to help you. And then these people don't even help themselves. So I think sometimes rather than help themselves, they would rather create a persona, a mission that they're here to help others. You know what I'm saying? And it is a selfish thing that they're doing. Just by being who you are, you know what I mean? Your walk sometimes is enough to help other people. And so when I realized my mission, I got to help myself before I can help anybody else. Then the pathways opened up and people were able to see through my walk. Oh, that's what that is about, and this and that. But those who come out and I'm here to help you, a lot of times there are ulterior motives behind that. They're looking for self-gratification. They're looking for your money. They're grifters. It's a number of things coming under the guise of I'm here to help you. How you gonna help me and you can barely pay your own rent? You know what I'm saying? You living on your damn mama's couch, or, you know what I'm saying, when the truth is really revealed. And so we have to help self. And by helping self, my extension of self begins to help others around me. I tell my children all the time, my mother, don't do as I say, you watch my walk. Watch this work I put in, and there are going to be lessons in it that you can learn that are going to be good and bad, and you have to take them both. You know what I mean? And so it's important, and this is another thing. You projecting where you are in consciousness on other people is bad. But when you first come into consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. You get all of this information, you excited, and you want to know why other people don't get it. It's like teaching your child his ABCs. Mm-hmm. And you go, Johnny got 2 apples and Sarah got 2 apples. How many apples do they have all together? And he go, I don't know. He got 3. I don't get it. And you become frustrated. And you continue to become frustrated because why can't this person get that? That's ego. When I let the ego go, because I ran back to my community with all of this information and these tablets and let's get together, and it was like, yo, I don't really care about all that shit you talking about, son. And I started taking it personal, and then I realized, nah, that's not their mission. That's my mission. Right. It's my journey. This is my path. And when I stopped doing that and let people be who they are, amazing things started happening. Then on their own accord, a lot of people started showing up. And guess what? When they show up, guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to teach me something, Rich. Something I already did 10 years ago. That's fine. And then I go, what? Are you serious? Oh, so melanin. That's what it's called. Yo, so when they found something that they could run back to me with to share, it was important. So I let people teach me shit I already know. Because it's not about that. It's the symbiotic relationship that we're creating in the process, that we're learning and we're teaching at the same time. And when we remove our ego, you know what I mean? This is what happens. The floodgates of the universe open, and all of those who need to learn from you, because not everyone is here to learn from you. Some people are here to stop you. Some people are here to impede your path. Yeah. Some people, and so, it's important. But I learned that over the years. You know what I mean? Because I've been through all stages of Hotepism.
What do you do, Dot? What do you do, Dot? And we talked about the chosen ones on the last show. And by the way, this show, shout out to everybody. We got about 3,200 people in the chat. I mean, this show is this is that golden age shit right here, y'all. This is the golden age show. This is next level of shit. Shout out to 19 Keys. This is high level right here. Shout out to the brother Keys. Listen, shout out. Listen, Dot. What I want to ask you is, you was talking about people being here not to help you. We talked about people with like energy vampires and all that on the previous show. And, there's a lot of haters out there. We know this, whatever, but as long as we're on our frequency, we're not even concerned with them. But what do you do, Dot, with a loved one who may be jealous of your light? It could be your wife. It could be your son. You got a son. It could be your daughter. It could be your mama. Mamas get jealous now. Daddies get jealous of their sons. So it could be, this whole get away from jealous people. It sounds easy, but when it's somebody you love, that shit get hard, Dot. It's hard to just separate yourself from your mama and your mama hating on you, or your daddy, he hating on you, or your brother, or your sister, or your man, or your woman. How should we navigate when we got it popping in our loved ones? You could tell they hating like a motherfucker behind the scenes, Dot.
Part of that is deep-rooted family trauma. A lot of that has to do with deep-rooted family trauma. Yes, your dad may have not had the experiences that you're having, and you are taking certain things to the next level, and you are not. My daughter is fearless, and what I mean by that is, I used to try to impose my fears on her. I don't think you should travel or do this, and she looked at me and said, "Dad, that was your series of experiences." Wow. I refused to do that. And so I had to sit back and not hate, because, you can hate and not realize you hating. You could be hating under the guise of protection. Yeah. You know what I mean? And these things. And so we have to let everyone be who they are, because love is a unique thing. And we pass that word around frequently or easily, but love is something that is earned. You know what I mean? Love is something where certain love is intrinsic between a child and its father, but there's levels to that love. I don't want to just love you because you're my child. I want to love you because I love what you're doing. I love to support you. I love your experiences. I love where you're going and things of that nature. Not just all right, you're my child, so I gotta love you and things of that nature. And the hater is around you because people live in fear, right? I've watched my generation hate on a lot of the young generation because we were of a different paradigm. And so for us, we grew up, you got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You do my 40 years on the job and I'm going to get a pension and they're going to give me a watch. And that's how you live your life. And the young people's like, what are you, crazy? I'm going out and I'm going to write these 16 bars and I'm going to have more money in the next 5 years than you've had your whole life. And the way they were fearlessly going about it made a lot of us jealous because we were locked into a paradigm that we must move slow. We can't break no laws. These young kids break law, create law, bend law to get what they want. And a lot of us vicariously, we live through them, but we're afraid to do it the way they did it. And it shows through a form of jealousy. And that's the way that shit comes through. Man, I ain't got these young people ain't got no fear. They ain't got no fear of death. They get money. They could just manifest money. They flying in private jets. All the reality that they want. Now, it's easier for us as elders to sit back and criticize what could happen to them. They don't care about what you think could happen to them. They're living their best life now, and we go to the job every single day on the train because this is the way we're taught, and we hate them. And so that jealousy can manifest through fear in so many different ways. And you just got to be who you are and be the best expression of who you are. Because listen, the haters gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do nothing about that.
Dot, beautiful. Well, I've noticed that being around, interviewing a lot of people. I didn't been doing this for over 15 years, Dot. One thing I noticed is that I've met a lot of intellectual people along my journey in consciousness, and not just teachers, just people that just passed by when I used to work outside, people that passed by the table. Met a lot of intellectual people, Dot, but it's rare that I meet somebody who's tapped into that heart frequency, that heart energy, who comes at you from their heart. You're one of those people that I met that have that ability to come from. And one of the things you just said is evident of that when you was like, y'all ask somebody something you already know the answer to. That's what make a lot of my interviews beautiful, is that I'll ask something I already know the answer to, but for the sake of the beauty of the show, the dance of the question and the answer, I'll ask it and I'll act like I'm in complete awe at the answer, because it's the beauty of the exchange. He may have gave an answer I knew, but the way he gave it to me, pause. the way the answer came out was different from any other answer I've heard before. So it was still unique, even though I know it was still unique in its own way. The point of me saying that is that very few people I meet can come from their heart. Why is the heart chakra? I'm talking about men and women. Don't think this is just an ego men thing. Now the woman too come from the intellect. Why is this heart thing so hard for so many people, spiritual people, to tap into, Black Dot?
Because I think a lot of them have been guarded through pain and suffering and trauma. And so they put a shell around their heart and feel that it must be protected. Even in the relationship between man and woman, you don't even reach quantum levels of love until you understand that there's a submission process in which you have to give your heart. You know what I mean? And so if you're coming into it with your heart guarded, which, okay, you may do in the beginning, you don't receive the true essence or beauty of your relationship. Women in particular have so many layers to uncover. Forget the box. If you have gift of gab, you can get the box. She has so much to offer you, but her heart is a sacred place that through dark alchemy, you must go through a process to earn her heart. And earning her heart, once you reach, it's like a video game. You know, it's a level you reach, and then now, bring all the gold coins come out and shit. That's what happens when we start dealing with true heart energy. And we speak about, even from a chakra standpoint, it is the midway level, before you can even access the higher realms of self, of the person you engage with, because the lower essence is easy to obtain. And so when we reach those greener pastures, the heart being the green chakra, the greener pastures, you know what I'm saying? And, life is, it is greener on the other side once you get there, right? And so all of these things, and they require a process in which a man has to earn that within a woman, and a woman has to earn that within her man through her respect for him, her support for him, her belief in him is going to open up so many avenues and gateways in him. And so I choose, in most cases, not all cases, to come directly from the heart to share with you an authentic experience of who I am. If you have ever met me on the street and I have not given you an authentic experience, I apologize, because I don't want to come to you, because some people meet me and they think I'm the black dot. They don't know how to approach me. Like I might be coming out of Popeyes with a 25-piece bucket and sit there and have a 45-minute conversation with you as the most authentic conversation that you will ever have. And so, because I don't know if I'm going to see you again. And so I want you to leave with a part of me that goes, yo, that brother was real and cool in front of the camera, behind the camera. And so they said, and watch this, Rich, a scientist I was watching, don't get on me because I be on TikTok, Malcolm be on my case and shit, right?
Oh, man.
But there was a scientific report that said it's come to our understanding that the highest vibration is not love. The highest vibration is authenticity. And I was confused, and I was saying, well, I thought love, but being your authentic self. You have to love yourself to be your authentic self. And when you come to people as your authentic self, that's the true essence of love. And so I thought that was real deep. As we speaking about, we're on the cusp of coming out of Dr. King's, birthday and celebration. And his whole fight was love. And I came up on some Malcolm X shit. I'm like, yo, you smack me, I'm gonna smack you back, right? But in my later years, when I revisited Martin's philosophy, love is the highest vibration, and you can't match evil with evil and expect anything to come of it. But in a world that is filled with hate, it's hard for that love to shine through. And so if I can give any message to any of our brothers and sisters, be your authentic self. Throw the Hotep handbook in the garbage.
Throw it out.
In the garbage. And I want to thank Bobby Hammond and Panic, the main two culprits. They took the Hotep handbook and said, man, fuck this shit, and throw it out. You know what I mean? So be your authentic self. And so when I'm sitting in the camera on my show, I'm trying to show you my actual relationship with my son, my actual relationship with my wife in real time. It ain't put the camera. This is who we are. I give you my shortcomings. I give you, what I'm good at and what I'm bright at, all in one package.
Yo, the funniest thing, Doc, and this is why you got to respect somebody who is their authentic self, like yourself or Panic or Bobby, is because the whole world, people in the chat, the entire world will say, be yourself, be authentic. So I'll be like, okay, be myself, be authentic. Brother Rich, sit down, start the show. Me and you talking. I'm like, man, these niggas and bitches done lost their mind out here. Oh my God, what did Brother Rich? You can't talk like that. Nigga, that's my, what if I want to talk like that? What if Brother Rich want to say, these niggas and these bitches done lost their mind? People, then they're like, no, don't be yourself like that. Be yourself like this. They want to dictate your authenticity, and it don't work like that. It don't. You can't dictate my authenticity. I remember when I started wearing my gold, people, why are you wearing gold? You should take that off. One dude wrote, Billy Carson doesn't have on gold and he's a millionaire. I'm like, motherfucker, what does that have to do with me?
Absolutely.
So people want you to be yourself until you're yourself. Then they're telling you to be another version of yourselves. It's crazy.
And I always tell people on my show, don't become a prisoner of other people's perception of you.
Right.
Don't become a prisoner of other people's. So I do a lot of crazy stuff on the show just to break people's perception of who they think I am, because this is my authentic self. You know what I mean? And that's the most, and you can't, and when it's your authentic self, nobody can really replicate it. Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do a father and son the way me and my son do it, because you could do one, but it ain't gonna be the way we do it, because it's an authentic experience that you're having based on who we are. And I'm all of those things. I am righteous. I am a knuckle dragger. I am a hotepper. I am all of those things based on, because if I am all things, then I can draw upon all things as needed. I'm hood. Don't get it twisted. Don't come to the hood thinking I've been removed from that. I'm all of those things. I'm a gentleman. I'm a scholar. I'm all of those things wrapped into one. I'm never going to let you limit me to what your perception of who you think I am is supposed to be.
I'm gonna get to. I'm having. Listen, we was just talking about time earlier. I'm having such a good time with this show, y'all. I didn't even realize that the time is 10:15. I actually got to meet Red Pill tonight. We going to this spot. I'm getting ready to do. I'm doing a lecture in Atlanta this year, and there's a spot and it's open tonight. It hasn't been open in a while, so me and Red Pill gonna go check it out. So yeah, I'm about to meet up with Red. If you're listening, I'm gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes, Red. Let me get to a couple of questions, about two or three questions from the chat.
I'm gonna plug the event that I'm at. Right.
Okay,
right.
Indeed. So in Nicholas, Brooklyn,
February 3rd. Me and Brother Blue Pill are gonna be in the building as a part of the Legacy series, and I want to thank Nicholas for doing this because we are, it's important to give certain people their flowers while we're here and we can enjoy it. And so I'm going to be opening up for Brother Blue. Brother Blue is going to be doing the heavy lifting, and it's going to be a magical event February 3rd at Nicholas Bookstore from 6 to 9 p.m. I want you guys to be in the building if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. I haven't done a lecture in 10 years. At least 10 years. And so what I noticed is, even watching you the other night at the listening party in Atlanta, we have to get back to touching people. You know what I'm saying? Getting back out to the people, because this social media thing has distanced us from each other, and now we only have a digital imprint of each other, but we are touchy-feely people. As Black people, we want to feel your energy, and so I do think it is important, as the new paradigm shift is amongst us, that we get back out, we touch the people. In terms of my hoodies, now you know how I do for Brother Rich. Rich got the hoodie on, I got the crew neck on.
It's even on the...
If you go to my website, right? Yeah, it's even on the arm sleeve. Right. Listen, we went all out and put in Rich 50. You're gonna get 50% off everything in my store from now until Saturday.
Now you know your son gonna be mad at you.
I already know, but it is what it is, right? Listen, you got to put the code in Rich 50 on the checkout. These going for $125. You can get this for $62. You can't beat it. And we got flavors. I got pink ones for the ladies. We got red ones, blue ones, white one. Listen, Rich 50. Now, if you cash out before you put the code in, that's on you from now until Saturday, because I know people watch the repeat of the show, and I want them to be able to reap the benefits as well. And so I just wanted to get that in before you ask your last couple of questions and we get out of here.
Yeah, definitely. Let me get to give me some questions in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Make sure y'all hit up Black Dot's website. The promo code is Rich50. Everything is 50% off. And when I tell you that, you see that sweater he got on? High quality, family. So make sure y'all support him and support yourselves by wearing quality clothing that represents a high frequency. So make sure you head over to the brother's website and get that 50% off. Oh man, that's big, y'all.
Only until Saturday. Only until Saturday.
Okay, all right. Give me a couple of questions in the chat. Let me let me see what's going on in here. Chat was popping tonight too, y'all. Y'all got it popping.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. I really do. To the Urban X Nation, we on again tomorrow. We missed Monday's show. Me, Mama Dot, and Eli was under the weather. It's crazy, but we back. We back.
Yeah, me and my family, we got hit with a cold in December, I believe. We all came down with a cold. The whole household was sick.
Yeah.
So I know how that feel, my brother. Let's get to this question here. Let's see what Bar Heavy J says. Is there a such thing as spiritual governing body in the new world?
I'm not sure what your questioning is in terms of or spiritual governing body. Oh, okay. Well, I always believe that anytime there's a consortium of elders who have the best interests of the people that they are responsible for, because we all have elders that we feel are responsible for us, who have led us to a certain point, whether you're in the Nation of Islam or whether you in the Moorish. I do believe that they are important for the spiritual governing body, so to speak. But our collectiveness coming together is that spiritual governing body. If we're on the same frequency and from a heart place, we want to help elevate the awareness of our people through our actions and our deeds, then we become the spiritual governing body within self. If you asked me if there's a confederation out in the universe, yeah, all that shit. I'm with all that shit.
Galactic Federation?
Sure, why not? I've seen enough Star Trek movies. Yeah. If we can conceive it, why can't it exist? Yeah. Side note, another one of my TikTok, rabbit holes I went down. They said they got a new Hubble telescope. Now you can look this up. That's far greater. It can look far greater than the Hubble one. And they said this new one reached out into a spot in the universe, and they saw traffic lights 7 trillion light years away. So just kind of keep that in mind. Traffic lights somewhere else. So wherever you are. Wherever you go, there you are. Yeah.
Nah, you in the deep TikTok rabbit hole. Nigga said traffic lights.
Yeah, my son be on my case like, yo, dad, calm down with TikTok shit. I'm like, yo, they're giving it to me quick, son. Quick fix. 3 minute download.
Man, I'm having a good time. This is hilarious, y'all. Let's get to another question. This brother wants to know, or this sister, what does the golden age look like for the hood?
I think the golden age, that's a real good question. I think even the celebration of hip hop this last year, it was good and bad. I don't want to get into all of the semantics of it, but the golden era MCs have returned, right? And so one thing about the golden era MCs, they had purpose, they had intent, they had love for our people. And, the music had a different vibration to it. I think the golden era is going to be, again, the working on self and coming to something solid, right? In terms of your foundation, the awareness, the illumination of self. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be what the golden age of the hood is supposed to be. But hood is a mentality. And so, hood could be a physical place, and it can also be a mindset. And so, to me, you have to remove the mindset of a hood in terms of the way it's structured now. Go back to what movie we saw. They cloned Tyrone. And you know what I mean? So we have to redefine and polish ourselves back off by understanding that we are the only ones in control of the true destiny. Look what they tried to do to us just 4 years ago. They told you the world was over. Stay in your house. This is ending. And we said, nah, I don't think so. So we do have the power and the ability to control that destiny. And if this is the golden era or paradigm that we're heading towards, then we have to accept it, appreciate it, and get to that urban alchemy so that, you know, that lead can lead to gold, that man can turn into God, and you can be the greatest, you know, of yourself that you can be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do one more question before all right. This brother wants to know, what is Brother Rich and Black Dot listening to as far as lectures and music? All right. Good way to end the show.
Music, I'm listening to Professor Griff's album, which is a phenomenal album of meditation, chants, and you can tell the love was in it. Of course, I'm listening to Holy Ghost 3 because I think the dopest MC on the planet right now and producer is Brother Rich and Cambada. I don't watch lectures anymore per se because I've lived so many of them.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just appreciating my grandson. That's the moments for me. The small, reduce everything down to its most, you know, subtle compound is listening to great music. I'm also listening to an artist called the artist Bones. She's a singer out of Canada. I think it's Brother Obar's queen. She is bad in terms of music. And so those are the things that I'm listening to musically.
Indeed, indeed. In terms of musically, of course, family, I'm listening to that Holy Ghost 3 with Cambada. Shout out to Cambada and myself. I'm also listening to, as far as mainstream, if y'all referring to mainstream artists that's out there, I've been listening to more of Benny the Butcher. He got this new song called Braun, and that other one, I like this one called Big Dog he had out with Lil Wayne. I think Lil Wayne was spitting on it. I want you to hear that one, Dot. It's called Big Dog.
Okay.
And Wayne was spitting kind of hard. But in terms of music, I've been getting into Afro beats a little more. I kind of like the frequency and what they got going on with their culture. I could definitely appreciate that. But other than that, not really.
Let me make mention of Razzcast has twin sons, and they're part of a group called Contra Costa.
Coast Contra. Yeah.
Oh,
phenomenal.
They made me love hip hop again. That's why I loved hip hop, when it's all of us in a group and you go and I go and we sharpen each other's sword. And so shout out to Razzcast and the young men that he has, you know what I'm saying, brought forth. I'm listening to them. Yeah.
Indeed. But in terms of lectures, I actually went back in the archives. Bobby Hemmett Dot used to talk a lot about. Remember Rudolf Steiner? He used to talk about his books. The white dude. I've been listening to some of his audio stuff on YouTube. Rudolf Steiner, and there's another one. I forget his name, but I've been listening to some Rudolf Steiner stuff. I actually just listened to some stuff this morning. But shout out to that body of work, and you know, everybody that's on the channel's body of work as well. But with that being said, Dot, I think it's time we wrap this thing up, my brother. Whoa, what a phenomenal show tonight. I mean, what a show, what a show, what a show. Anything you want to tell the people? Once again, I know you're going to be in Brooklyn February 3rd with Blue Pill. Anything else you want to tell them before we get out of here, Dot?
No, that's pretty much it, man. February 3rd. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to it. Of course, tomorrow, back on my regular time slot with our podcast. I love you all. I want you to have an amazing, slow everything down and have these mini experiences, because we kind of get on autopilot so much and we're missing the beauty of life and all that it has to offer. So create what we call mini experiences and just sit back and enjoy, and don't listen, they're going to turn up. You know, all the external stuff is going to turn up. Stay within self, and you're going to be great, because ain't nothing going to move us until we need to move ourselves, man. And I'm super excited for 2024 and what it has to offer.
Quick question I want to ask you, Dot. I asked my girl this the other day. When you make the transition, Dot, would you want your soul to go back to its essence, go back to source, or would you want to stick around and observe your children continue their life, like watch Malcolm or watch your grandchild. If you had an option, like, and maybe there's no option you got to choose, but you get what I'm trying to ask here.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to do. I'm not going toward the light. That shit smack me on my ass and bring me back down here and have me relive this again. That ain't happening. And so I probably would want to see. Here's the thing: if I'm existing simultaneously in all dimensions as being, wherever I feel the lessons I've learned, if I graduate to the 6th dimension, I would want to reside there. You know what I'm saying? And get acclimated to what that experience is. And then I would want to be able to go, okay, now I got these new powers. So now if I want to manifest down in a lower dimension right above my kid's head so I can see what they're doing and help them along the way, I would want to do that. You know what I mean? So when we see these UFOs and things like that, we have to change our perception of what that actually is. We know the government is doing certain things. And if any UFO show up to attack you, that's all government shit. Why would I be of a supreme existence who could show up anywhere and come down and harm a bunch of ants in an ant pile, which is what we would look like to them? But some of these UFOs could be those of a higher self who have mastered the material world and can take on material form as they see fit and show themselves and not show themselves. And so what I'm noticing is in my life, watch this, go watch the movie Coco. Go watch that cartoon Coco. My Lord, it is an amazing thing on how we can stay connected to our ancestors through vibration and frequency. And so this is the perfect time as we paradigm shifting to be able to call on those who you need, who have made the transition, and bring them closer to you. So I would want my children to have access to me through the vibration of Dwayne as they know me, or dad or whatever, and me be able to come in and interface with them without interfering with their journey, because I can't interfere with the mistakes that you got to make. You're going to touch that stove, I got to let you know it's hot. You got to touch the stove for you to experience the hotness. And so that's how I would want to show up and always remain in the life of the loved ones, my loved ones.
What an answer. What a show, Dot. What a way to start 2024 from one Virgo to another. They said this is an 8 year. They said this is an important year for us, Dot. Thanks for coming on the show, Dot. And I will make sure I spread the word about February 3rd in New York, my brother. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight.
Rich 50 for the code for the checkout.
50% off. 50% off. Rich 50. What's the website again, Dot?
ShopUrbanX.com. ShopUrbanX.com. Rich 50. Please take advantage and help us out.
The link is in the description of the video, y'all. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, Dot.